Alrighty. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And finally, the Chosen Season 6 teaser trailer has been shown in today's The Chosen livestream. Now, they did say it's going to be uploaded the next day. And also, to clarify, I did say teaser because I vaguely remember Dallas Jenkins saying it's more of a teaser, and it is. It's 1 minute and 35 seconds. So yeah, a trailer usually goes around 2 minutes, 2 minutes 13, something like that. Anyway, it gives you it really I like all the trailers of every single season because it really sets the tone. And this one, it really sets the tone because this is the darkest part of the Passion Week. Season 5 was the whole Passion Week, just missing that part where he gets incarcerated and goes through the whole process until he's crucified. And that's where this season 6, is going to end. And then they're going to be doing the season 7, which I believe is going to be a film, which is a wise choice. I don't believe it could fit as a season, but it's a good choice for it to be a film. And yeah, I watched it in the live stream. I was waiting anxiously about it. I wrote a couple notes about it, and let's see. Well, you're here to watch it first, so let's watch it again, and then we'll talk about it. So let me pull that trailer up here for you to see. And here we go.
My heart. From his head, his hands, his feet, sorrow and love flowing dark. This is the way. Your way. By riches gained, I count my loss.
Father, forgive them.
When I survey the wondrous cross,
Yeah, really sets the tone for this whole second part of the journey. I think a couple things to keep in mind. Let's see if I can pull it up for you. This here. Yeah, well, this scene itself, the beginning, this scene really sets it up because you have this interaction. This is context-wise, Jesus has been whipped, he has been dressed, he has been crowned, and he's walking the streets to Golgotha. And this is one of the many times he, like we could say, falls. And this is a moment where Mary, Mother Mary, gets a chance to at least talk to Jesus. And oh man, that in itself, I mean, trying to keep it together for a couple minutes. I think right off the bat, the crown of thorns can be visibly seen here. It's shown also in other parts of the trailer. And the reference to the Desire of Ages, you can find it in chapter 77, 78. And the book, both books, the Bible and Desire of Ages, focuses more on the silent humiliation Jesus was going through in his mind, the mockery of the people that once hailed him. And later on, we get to see the nails. We don't get to see him on the cross. And I believe, of course, they're saving that for when you get to see it in the show, the episode. But the trailer already hints at it. And for those of us who've seen other depictions of it, I'm throwing out there the most obvious one, the Passion of the Christ. That one in itself is so exaggerated, I would say, that it almost just focuses on its suffering. I know Mel Gibson is planning to get also his version of the resurrection, which I'm a little curious to see how he does. Heard rumors about it, which are pretty bold and astonishing about it, but besides the point, it's interesting to see what Dallas Jenkins is going to do with his version of the crucifixion and the resurrection. But in this sense, it's already putting the scenes a little jumbled everywhere because we get to see him there in yeah, we get to see the first scene of him on the floor with his mom. And then we keep going. We have the crown of thorns, which is a naturally tree, and they would just bend it into the form of a crown. So they built it for him, or for the person who was going to either be Barabbas. Then we get to see the continuation of season 5, or where we left off, where he gets arrested. Judas. This scene right here. Jesus on the right-hand side and Barnabas on the left. We had I went to church this past Saturday, I believe, and then we talked about this, how for most Bible geeks, as myself, we've heard that the name Barnabas means son of God. And it's ironic how there is the Son of God, and then there's one whose name means that. And they chose the human person because a more deep dive into this is that the people between the two messiahs, because Barnabas was a leader of the zealots, and then there was Jesus, who was the true king, who was the true Christ, and there was two of them, and who were the people going to choose? Well, since their ideology of who the Messiah was going to be was more of a commander of a war captain, Barnabas fit more that role than Jesus did. And I believe that was one, if not the biggest factor into why they chose him. Of course, there's other references, including that it was the mob and because of how everyone was doing it, so I'm going to include myself. But that deep symbolism into like people deciding to go for their comfort version of the Messiah instead of the real one. That's in itself a scene I really would like to see. And I think there was other parts throughout, and I'm going to show you, but I need to find them first. The arrest, yes, we mentioned it, which is John in the book of John, chapter 18. In the Desire of Ages, if you do want to go read it, it is in chapter 74, which is Gethsemane. It's titled Gethsemane. Then we get to see some parts where he carries the cross. Now, there are some depictions where they show he carries the built cross that we recognize, but there's also other versions that show that he only carried part of the cross. And if you go to John chapter 19:17, it doesn't say that specific detail, but in the Desire of Ages, it does. Chapter 78, which is titled Calvary, that one does go into more detail of what the journey or the walk was to Golgotha. And I like that the show, at least in the trailer, is not glossing over the exhaustion, and it aligns directly to both scriptures. and it vividly describes how physical, how the physical part really impacted him so much, and we get to see him almost ending the trailer where he collapses, which is something mentioned in both the Bible and the Desire of Ages. So I like that they're really taking the source material to heart. And out of everything, because there's so many other scenes that I would like to talk about, but I really want to emphasize this last part at the ending. We could talk about the whipping and everything, but I'll save that for the episodes and episodes. This part here, I'm wondering when or what is this? This is like the most confusing scene because I don't know when would this happen? Who is this? I think that's Z. So Simon Z. Zealot, for those who don't know. And that's Mother Mary, but I don't know when. I maybe could think this is when they hear he's arrested, but then Z is there and he was there. So I don't know. This scene confuses me. This is like the only scene that confuses me the most. This part, when he gets placed the crown, these are like small spontaneous things I wrote down. I have to be careful how I word this, but it's accurate. It's accurate specifically because I remember when I read The Desire of Ages, and I read it like 3 times already. Once because of enjoyment, but either way, this scene was specifically referenced that when he was placed the crown, it was placed forcefully. And these are the types of scenes where I'm like, yes, at least they're like, it's almost from book to screen adapted. And it's an important reference because these Roman soldiers did not care at all. They didn't care who Jesus was, and they would have treated Barnabas the same way. And so these are things that saddens me that happened, and I'm glad that everyone gets to see this because he went through a lot. He just didn't went through a lot. He went through the whole thing, and every time I see this, it reminds me of he went through this for us. He didn't. He could have said no, yet he still did. And I think that's what the show, at least with Dallas Jenkins, wants us to reflect on. That throughout every single season, it has brought us to this, and to obviously the hope of when he conquers death and saves us all, redeems us all. But you have to go through the process. Like I said, the fainting part, the blood part. And definitely before the trailer happened, I always wondered how would Jonathan Rumi go through the process of actually like saying the famous words that's in the Bible. Father, forgive them for they don't know what they do. That is, let's see if I can find it where I wrote that. Again, that is for book readers in the Desire of Ages, chapter 78, Calvary, almost the ending part. But biblically, in Luke chapter 23, verse 34, where he does say, Father, forgive them for they don't know what they do. And you see, hearing this over voice while you see the blood, it just gives the viewer that sort of imagination, and it fully captures this world collapsing grace that he's saying out. He's not just saying it to the Roman soldiers who have just nailed him to the cross. He's saying it to everyone, the Pharisees, the people who were condemning him. Everyone was included into that forgiveness. And just talking about it sort of really touches my heart because I wonder what we would do if we were there. And that's the teaser trailer. So far, that's as much as I could get out of the trailer. You'll get to see it tomorrow morning. because this is very late. I think I'm what, 11, 10 at night. But there are some things I do want to say. I want to point out because this, let's keep this as the theory area at the end of the video. So there's many theories for me since I'm doing the recaps of all the seasons, and there's one theory that I want to mention now that I think I've mentioned previously, but I want to mention now because it's so relevant. The Thomas and Ramah situation that happened in season 4, where, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched season 4, which I guess you should have already, Ramah dies. And Ramah is a character for the show. We don't know if she really existed or if she it just made up for the show. Either way, made up for the show. Yet I have a theory that when she died and Jesus is about to be crucified, he's going to die, he's going to be buried in the tomb. And there's this scene that not recently, but a couple years ago, we reread it, and there's this part where it says that when Jesus rose from the dead and the tomb was open, holy people were raised to life as well. That is from Matthew chapter 27, verse 52 to 53 or 54. It's in chapter 27. That's I know for sure. And when it says that holy people were raised with him, alongside him, some versions do say, I right away thought Rama could be one of those individuals. Could be, would be an excellent opportunity to have another character come back for something that is biblical. Not just to fulfill some sort of satisfaction to the fans, but it's biblical. And I mean, it would pay off for season 7 since it's titled The Resurrection Film to have Ramah resurrect with those in the saints. And it would really bring this unbelievable emotional payoff for Thomas. If not, at least it does say in the Bible. And for us fans, we could just imagine it or speculate it. But it would be a great opportunity to have Ramah as one of the resurrected saints. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm still processing the trailer and this upcoming. It's in November. We have what, 3 months until it's released? I mean, this is insane. And yeah, guys, The Chosen is not a perfect show. I'm gonna reiterate that because many people come to me saying, "Oh, you shouldn't talk about the show because it's not accurate." Just go watch the first episode. It does tell you that they're taking inspiration and they're using it. And I believe that the show works so well into actually sparking the curiosity to go for yourself and find out if it happened like that. If it didn't, accept it. But always keep the Bible next to you. I think this is one of those shows that you must keep your Bible with you to check for your own reference. I love the side plots. I love the character development that is done, especially if you want something that gives you more detail that the Bible doesn't. I would say go read The Desire of Ages because that book is worth it to read alongside the Bible as well. And it really helps you sort of like wrap around the ideas of how the team sorry, behind The Chosen went through these scenes and why they chose these sort of ways. It's a show, good or bad, it's a show, but it gives space for conversations, and that's what I love about the show. A lot of people who are not Christian come to me talking about the show, and it's excellent conversational starters. And that's why I will always be a fan of The Chosen. I will always be a fan of Christian biblical media because if it's this open to other individuals, it can bring them closer or as the stepping stone to finding the truth. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous about this upcoming season. And my mom just right away said that she's not gonna watch, at least not gonna watch it because it's gonna be hard. But I know she's gonna watch it. Um, and yeah, guys, stay tuned. Season 1 of my breakdowns is done. They will be coming soon. Before, I'm gonna say before the end of the year. You never know. Sometimes some things pop up, but I'm done with that. And we're gonna catch up. We're gonna catch up. I'm so excited. And let's finish that so we can continue to other shows. Uh, let's end it thanking you once again. And I'll see you in the next one. And please comment down below. What are you most excited for? What are your theories? I really want to hear you guys' theories. And yeah, thank you for the third time. And God bless. And I'll see you in the next one.